Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to the One Piece video featuring your boy, Enel. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile featuring OP07, and which I'm very much excited to bring to you. Let alone, this is a list that I think is going to do very well in the upcoming regionals and or store championships if you guys are heading out to those. I did not get into the one in July. Unfortunately, Bandai decided it was going to be a great idea to do a lottery to get people into these regional events, which, great, wonderful. To be 4 hours away from 9 out of 10 of these stores, to only have a chance to get in via a lottery just feels a little bit, alright? But if you are one of the lucky ones, and you did get accepted, and you're ready to go to regionals, you're trying to debate on what deck you want to run, if you're interested in playing Enel, give this a shot. You guys got time to do testing and all that sort of thing before you hop into your regionals events and all that. This is a very, very solid list. Now, it's going to be a little bit different than what you're probably used to. A lot of decks do run like Gedetsu and all that sort of thing, which if you're a newer player out there, this came out in OP05. This allows you to KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of equal or less than their life total. Your opponent's life total, by the way. Now, he's great, right? But I feel like a lot of people kind of look out for him, especially when you are playing yellow, and they'll try to play around him a little bit, which is fine. Now, I decided to drop Gedetsu and go a little bit more defensive and put Momonosuke here in my build, and then I also subbed in Kikinojo, and of course we have to have, Hiyori. Now, doing this allows you to heal a ridiculous amount with this leader. And speaking of which, with the Momo, with the Ace, with the Katakuri, with the Yamato, all of your big drops are healing you a life, on top of your leader ability, right? And we are also running 16 2K counters, which is something you probably don't see in a lot of lists. We run 4 Hioris, 4 Flampe, 4 Frankie, and then 4 Capone. Frankie also comes out in OP07, which is a very, very good card for this deck. If you are at 1 life, which Enel loves to take damage early, so it's not really hard to get at 1 life. If you trigger Frankie off your life stack, you can play him down for free, which is really, really good, and you get to draw 1 card. So you get a body, a +1 at the same time. But in any case, some of these 2K counters are replaceable, others are irreplaceable, such as the Hiyori. In every single yellow deck out there in the format, I think Hiyori is a staple. I get it, she's a little bit expensive, but I also feel like if you are interested in playing yellow, which is one of the more expensive colors, you have to have Hiyori in your lists, especially considering she allows you to stack your life, do so many different shenanigans, a lot of plays and all that sort of thing, which is really, really good. But overall, 16 2K counters, this allows Enel to make it to the late game. You have the draws with Flampe, so on your turn 1, your opening hand, you're looking for something like this, that way you can play it down, automatically go to 3 life, draw 2 cards for, cost of 1, which is fantastic. Now, we've added in Raigo, or Kingdom Come, depending on, what you guys are familiar with this card's name by. Raigo allows you to trash all of your life to KO up to one of your opponent's, characters, which is great, right? Any character in the game, you can just kill it with this, which is great. Now, this does push you to 1, but considering Enel's ability, you're really not so much in danger. So this allows you to get rid of big cards such as like Edward Newgate, Big Mom, 10 cost Ace, anything on board this card can get rid of. Eustace Kid, but I've added this into the list because I feel like a lot of Enel players or a lot of yellow decks are not running this card. I think it's very, very good. It very much suits decks like Enel and Yamato. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. But this is a very solid card just to play around with. It doesn't really give you too much value when it comes from, your trigger stack, considering that Enel is generally at lower life. And on the trigger, you add up the total between you and your opponent. So most of the time, this might hit like a weenie blocker or something. It's more useful when you activate the main effect, opposed to getting this off the trigger. So if you have an opportunity of like playing down a 2-cost Hiyori to put something in life, this normally isn't the target. You're normally doing something like a 0-cost event, a Capone, a Shirahoshi, or like Kikinojo or something of that nature. But it still is a pretty solid card overall. Now, of course, we're running with the Yamatos and we're running with the Katakuris. Another very, very expensive card, but in Enel, I feel like you must have him. That's just how I feel. He does way too much for the deck for you not to run Katakuri. And again, you can put up cards into your life. When you put this on board, you can remove 8-cost Kid from your opponent's side of the field if you choose to. Or you can put Shirahoshi on life to draw 3 cards. You know, you guys get it. And then, of course, the brand new big drop from OP07, the Ace. Be a little bit mindful on how this card is worded, by the way. I feel like some people are going to miss this. You can add up to 1 card, alright? Remember this. You don't have to do it, but you may. Now, if you do, you can add 1 card to the top of your deck and heal yourself, which is great. But if you have 2 life or lower, this character gains Rush. So if you play this down and you already have 2 life, right? You add another life, that puts you at 3. Ace does not get to attack that turn. So again, you have the option to heal. He only gains Rush if you have 2 or less life. So do be mindful of that before you decide to play it. But overall, we are going to dive into a bunch of games today with Enel. Hopefully you guys are going to be excited for this one. This leader is a lot of fun. I get it. People are probably tired of seeing his face. But in OP07, he's going to be everywhere whether you like it or not. He's a very solid deck for what he allows you to do. In any case, let's get at it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today, coming at you guys with Enel, playing into Black Yellow Luffy. And I feel like this is one of the hardest matchups in the format at the end of OP06 here and into OP07. He's very difficult to get around for a lot of decks. I just feel Enel doesn't really have that problem. I feel like this is one of those matchups where it's almost an auto win, at least how I feel. And I guess it always just depends on the player and how your deck is built. With this deck here particularly, we heal way too much for him to have cards in hand. Most of the time, I feel like I win these matchups, right? With a lot of life or with Luffy having very little resources in hand. Considering that he plays nothing but Sabo most of the time, let's be fair. I probably should have done that. I should just pass turn, I think. I like letting Luffy basically just use resources to take his own life instead. Instead of me just being like, 5k here, 6k there. I'd rather him do it. That's probably a baby at some point. Yeah. Okay, cool. Speaking of Sabo, we're starting early. And this is what I mean though, like most Luffy players will just constantly keep throwing Sabo on board, which is fine until you run out of cards. Especially into Enel here, where we play nothing but big drops. Good luck. Speaking of which, another ace, that does suck. Huh. I guess we can just go 10k. Because we don't really have all too much in hands. I'd like to get down the Hiyori here. And put like, what? Nothing. Because I can't put any card on top of my life here that's relevant. Frankie's not going to trigger off that because I'm at 1 life. Raigo's not really going to get value because we're at 3 life together here. Or 4 life together. So, yeah, 10k seems like the best choice of action. We could have passed turn, but this will force him to take his last life with a Flampe if he has it. And I felt like skipping the turn without playing anything or without attacking wasn't the best thing. At least in this scenario, he has to spend resources to get himself to 0. Interesting. I do love the tech choice here with Viola. I think she's pretty good in this list, especially if you do Luffy ability. English is hard today. And then put 2 life up there, and then she can play her down and then flip those life face down, which is really good. But I feel like she's also like a niche or a situational card. She can work out in this deck. Oh, okay. He's just going for it. Sure. I'll get rid of the Kikinojo and let's do the Shirahoshi. It was probably better to go Raigo there, but it might get value. We might get an opportunity to play it. Oh, hey, we get a Yamato here as well. That's pretty good. I don't think we should play it. I think what we should do is do the Hiyori into the 0-cost event. And I was talking about the Raigo. We could have popped the Sabo there. But there's no point. He'll just get it back anyway. And I won't really have enough Dawn to go over the Sabo and or attack the leader there. Unless he decides just to take the hit for free. I'd rather get value on my side here. We're going to block her down. We'll get 2 and just pass it up. Like I said, it's probably better for him to take resources instead of you just forcing it out of them for free. It's at 8 Dawn here. So this could be a Gecko Moria play for no reason. Speaking of Flampe, I guess he had it. So throws away his 2k counter. Which is interesting because he could potentially just kept that, right? Put 2 cards on top of his life, play down the heal, or he'd take 1 and put something else up there. And that way he would have healed 1. Because it would have been face down instead of face up. But maybe he didn't think about that, or he's probably playing like babies here. Okay, 5-drop Luffy. Sure. Yep. The power of editing. Sometimes I feel like playing into these leaders is just obnoxious because they take so long to do their turn. With all the combinations that they can do, they really don't want to make that misplay. Otherwise, they can just, again, just lose the game. But you guys didn't really miss anything. So, I mean, he decided to discard the 5-drop Luffy, do the leader ability, put it back on top of life. You know, like, played baby Luffy, did the thing. And then played Sabo down to get the other Sabo off life. So you really didn't miss anything here. Just kind of irrelevant for me to sit here for like 5 minutes waiting for this man to make up his mind. I won't use this. There's no point. He won't attack with Sabo. Yep, didn't think so. We have quite a bit of cards in hand here. But he is a 9k leader, so I can't really get in a swing here. He has 3 blockers up as well. So let's play a little defensive here. All we have to do is stall out until he runs out of cards in hand, which isn't difficult to do. So we'll put her back on pass the turn. This way we can cycle out some of our no counter cards in hand. I don't want to say dead cards because Ace and or Yamato can just carry this game most of the time by themselves. Like just that turn I could just drop the Yamato and popped Viola if I wanted to. But I feel like doing it this way at least allows me to see more cards in the deck as well. Alright, so Luffy ability. He got rid of the baby Ace. To do what exactly? Yep, sure. What, 8 Dawn left to play with? 2 for Hiyori? Nope. Okay, baby Luffy. So now he goes up to 7k. Does he have an Ace? Oh, yeah, he does. Okay. That's fine. He got rid of the Luffy. He decides to heal me 1. Sure, no problem. I really don't know why he decided to do that, but thank you. I really much appreciate it. I don't think healing Enel is the right thing to do, but what do I know? Sure, buddy. Another Ace. That's actually pretty okay. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. I would have much rather seen like a Katakuri or a Momonosuke. Yeah, why not? Ooh, speaking of Katakuri. That's pretty good. Alright, so he should pass turn here. Because there's no way he's swinging at me with Sabo. I don't think he would do it. We didn't really care about it. We knew the 0 cost was here anyway. And I could have guarded out, but taking the hit allows me to heal 2 here. With the 0 cost and then with Enel's ability. So instead of being at 1 and guarding out, we could just go to 2. Just chill. And he can just start all over again. Because eventually, if this is all he has, with 5 cards in hand, he's going to run out of steam here soon. I mean, as a no, I'm just going to chill. Alright, so we get another Raigo here, which is irrelevant. Let's get down the Ace, heal extra life. He doesn't gain Rush, because remember, now we're at 3 instead of at 2. If I decided not to heal life there, then he would have still had Rush, but I'd rather heal. I'm not in any hurry to win here. He has to make the move soon, because he only has 5 cards in hand. I can't even attack that either, yeah. Let's go for the Ace. I know he's going to guard out for it, but that's 1 card less that I have to deal with. So we got rid of the 5 cost Ace to do what exactly? Sure. I'm not sure why he keeps bringing back the Luffy. That's kind of irrelevant here. I guess it gives him just a body on board, which is fine, but he's not doing anything with it. He hasn't attacked with the last one either. Sure, buddy. Another ace. Just go 9-9. What are you doing? Okay. Fair. We'll take this one. 2 Dawn open. We finally get our Momo. So Momo is going to allow me to heal an extra life next turn if I decide to play him down. I guess it really depends on what he does with these last 2 Dawn. I don't think I'm missing anything, but I don't think he could have played any card down that's going to help him out in this scenario that's relevant for 2 Dawn. Yeah, I didn't think so. Another 0-cost event. We could stack that with Hiyori here as well. I think that's probably the better play instead of playing down another Rush Ace. We'll just get rid of cards in hand here. And then hopefully the Sabos. Alright, goes up to 11. 1 card left in hand. I can't really attack him with our leader unless I just invest heavily into Dawn. And I'd much rather get down the 0-cost event and the Momonosuke here on board instead. Sure. Yep, we'll bounce this to top. And I can't really attack him here, which is unfortunate. But we can go into the ace. Just give me your last card. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Alright, this game's over. Like 100%. There's nothing he's going to be able to do about it. Because we have the 2k counter on top. And then we have another 0-cost event, which allows us to heal for 2. And we have a ridiculous amount of counter in hand. We got like 12k or 15k counter with the 0-cost event included. So I think we're chilling. Hey, he learned. They're going 9k this time. Crazy. Sure. Come on, do it again. You got this. I believe in you. Alright. Let's do the 0-cost first. I don't think it really matters in this scenario. Get rid of the ace. And I think I want to keep the other ace. So we'll get rid of the Yamato instead. So now we have to contend with 4 more attacks coming this way, which we have no problem guarding out with counter. Alright, so 8k to face. No problem. Yup, you got it. Alright, so we'll take that hit. Yup. Now what do you do? Should be a good game here. Good job, buddy. Well played. Alright, boys and girls, we're going to keep them coming rapid fire, as much as I can anyway. We are playing into a blue deck. This should be pretty challenging for us, especially considering they run Pudding. And they have access to pretty much all of the best removal in the game. So my Yamatos, my Aces, Katakuris, they're not really safe here in this matchup. And it's Boa. So she does have access to drawing free cards all the time and spamming bodies on board with, what's it called, Jinbei. Into cards like Rosinante blockers, or Doflamingo blocker, my bad. And they do have Edward Weevil as well, so they are some pretty strong attackers here in this deck. But I think we can do it. We'll just go 5 first. And then we can play down a Shirahoshi after that. Alright, so we get 1 damage in, which is too bad. Most of the time they don't play with a lot of counters here, unless they're running things like 3000 Worlds and the 7-drop, which is Raging Tiger. Other than that, you're not really worried about all too much. Draw a free card to get 2 bodies on board. We get a Yamato here. Our hand is not looking the greatest. We've got 4k counter overall. But we'll get there. Actually, truthfully, it'd be really nice if she were to put me right now. That'd be great. Like, I'd love that. That way we can just draw. Every draw a hand would be great. Playing down the Hiyori here, we can actually set up a Beji if need be, or play down a Kikinojo instead. I think she'll remove it, but if not, it's another body on board that we can possibly use to attack into the Weevil or the Jinbei. Because there's no reason why they shouldn't attack me this turn, but at least we have ways to remove them afterwards. She gets a Mihawk, which is irrelevant. I don't really care about that. He can't hit any big bodies that I'm going to be playing down here, such as Katakuri and Yamato. Thank you for the pudding. Appreciate it. We'll get rid of the Shirahoshi here. Now what do you do? Sure. Let's not use it, in case she decides not to attack with Weevil in the first place. Cool. I didn't think she would, considering that we just kill Weevil in the following turn. But there's no way that she doesn't assume we have Yamato. So if she doesn't attack with it next turn, it'll be a mistake. Because we are going to clear the Jinbei one way or the other here. Nice. We got 6 left to play with. We can just do this and slap down another Kikinojo. And then maybe she'll Raging Tiger both of them, which would be awesome. That way, she uses up all of her Dawn, and then she only has the 6k and the 5k to hit me with. Or she can turn this into a 5-7 or a 6-6. We go up to 9 Dawn, so if they don't attack with Weevil, it'll be a huge mistake here. Do we need this Shirahoshi? Alright. She either goes for 7 or she passes. If she holds back and doesn't attack with Weevil, she makes another misplay. Alright, we got there, boys. Alright, let's get down the Yamato. Let's kill that, heal a life for free. And basically, this is where you just sit back and relax, because the game is yours. I do love the fact he's running Ace. I think that Ace card is very, very good in Boa. And it's a, 5-cost blocker, kind of similar to X-Drake, but this one allows you to draw 2. Going 5. That's fine. Another 2k counter. Pretty good. Yamato didn't want to attack anyway. So, joke's on you. Alright, so we get down to Jinbei and a Law. Law can't trigger the ability here, which is totally alright. So, Boa can't draw free cards. But we can just still go 5 and force more cards out of hand here. Alright, no problem. Ace will gain Rush if I decide to play him, and we get a free damage in. The only way she removes this is with Red Rock, so it's not too bad. Let's just go 10. Cool. Now she can attack into it first with Boa, and then see what I want to do at that point, and then play Red Rock. Yep. Let's get down to Frankie. We'll draw the free card. We'll get rid of the Kikinojo here. Yep. She still has the Boa and the Jinbei left. Ooh, that's nice. That was weird. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that was weird. Because I already clicked the Shirahoshi to do that effect, and then it's... sometimes this game, man. Sure, it wanted to do the Enel effect first for some reason. Get rid of this. I'm going to keep the Momo. I think the Momo is one of the better options, so we have to get rid of one of the 2k counters. For what is about to happen here, we'll be able to heal next turn. 7. Because she also swings for 7 here. It's 10. We have to give the blocker. Yep. And now I think this game's over here. We could go the slow route with the Yamato. Or we can just dawn up everything and start attacking. In hindsight, that might be the better play, but she does have 6 cards in hand, and I'm going to assume a lot of those are going to be counter. But will she counter out for her units here? Let's go 5k to her first, or 10k to her first. Get the damage in. Come on, give me 5k counter. Let's go. Yes, sir. That's the first Gecko Moria we've seen all game, too, by the way. Ooh, mistakes were made. I probably shouldn't have done that. Let's just go 5 here. Yep. I don't know, man. I think I could have won, but I didn't want to risk it, considering we are at 0 life. I think it was smarter just to play a little bit safe here. Otherwise, I should have just attached Dawn to the Enel, but doing it this way allows me to just heal up for free with the Momonosuke and the Hiyori, and gain an extra life. I think taking the safe route was probably the better call. Sure. Now what? What do you do now? So that's a 7 with leader and then an 8 with the other Boa. Or you just disconnect. Love to see it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Diving into another game. Coming at you guys again with Enel playing into Yamato here. Which should be a very difficult matchup for them. More so. And after this game, we'll probably play maybe 2 more. Depending on how long the next game's going to be. This one shouldn't be too bad. Even though they are playing a double attack leader. Doing that into Enel doesn't really benefit you at all. So, this is one of their harder matchups in the format. And if you are a Yamato player and you are going to be like, nah, Enel's really easy, it's cap, bro. Stop it. Alright? Just stop it. But anyway, we're going to dive into this, see what we can do. I'll be as aggressive as I possibly can here. I don't really care too much for the Hody Jones. I'm not really worried about it. We should be able to out-heal whatever Yamato decides to play on board. Assuming we get like Momonosuke at some point. But we'll see, we'll see. Our hand's not looking the greatest. We do have double Raigo, which is unfortunate in this matchup. Because it's really only hitting Hody, essentially. I don't really care about anything else. Or Zoro if they're playing it, or Kid. 4 Dawn open. Yep. What do we do? Do we do Momo things? We don't do Momo things. Wow. That sucks. Speaking of Kikinojo, I guess we'll have our own as well. Yeah, I think that would be the best part, or best play here, is just to go 6k, and then play down Kikinojo and pass it up. There's no point in playing down a Hiyori and putting a card on life. It'll be better when we lose an extra one here next turn. At the very least, we'll take that 2k. We'll pass it here. 6 Dawn. Do we have the Momonosuke? Can you heal up? Just going 7 at face. That's crazy. 5 Dawn open though. So that's a possibility for Momonosuke to come down. And then they put the Otama back to life. Okay, alright. I'll take those. We're at 7. Sure, we'll pop that for free. Thanks for that, appreciate you. Just when you thought you were safe. Let's go 7 lead. I don't really care if they get back to Kikinojo, it doesn't really bother me at all. I know they're going to play it down, but this puts them back at 3 life here in this turn. And now we're chilling. They have 2 attacks this turn unless they decide to play Hody Jones. But I still don't think that's enough for them to get to me. So we got 11k counter in hand. If we don't guard out on this, they can play down Hody and then do that, so we have to block out. Really? So 7 Dawn active. So that's going to be a Hody play. Take that. They push us down again. We got to guard this as well. Because Hody will still be a 10k swing at the very least. Really? Okay. There's no way they don't have Hody Jones. Maybe they thought I would take that hit and they were going to play Hody down to make sure I'd be at 0 life next turn. Maybe that was the game plan. I don't think it was all, you know, well too thought out, so. Because we get to pop this for free now. Thanks for that, buddy. Appreciate you. We can go 5 to lead, and we can go 6k into Kikinojo with Kikinojo. That might seem a little weird, but it's one less body on board I have to deal with. And I don't really care if they heal up, so. Yep. Let's go 6 here. They should give me this. Because then they'll feel confident. Yep, cool, bet. Now they can play Hody Jones without having to worry about it. Because now those will go back down to 3 life instead of being at 2. So leader can be 9k. Right? 6, 7, 8. Yeah, leader could have been 9k there. 13 into Yamato. Interesting. We'll guard out this. We have enough counter to do it. It'd be fine. Okay. Alright, body you too. Interesting. This will probably be the last game, guys, depending on how long this one's going to be. But, you know, we'll see. In any case, I think this is going to be one of the tougher matchups in OP07 for Enel. Considering green with the Dofi with the kid, it's not going to be a fun time. If you're playing Enel into Bonnie. But if they don't see the kid, we should be chilling. Depending on how many Dofis they lock you down with. But we're going to see what happens here. Let's push ourselves to 1 life already. I don't know why I decided to do this, but it's not too bad. We can plant Hiyori on top. Or, sorry, Shirahoshi on top. Let's go 5 face. This is a very tough match, by the way. The amount of cards that, or blockers that Bonnie plays with is kind of ridiculous. Because they have the Rosinante, they have the Monk. And then they have the ability to make sure they always have a Dawn active to rest something on my field. Yep, they'll leave that one up. That's fine. So we'll do the thing. We get a Raigo, which is really good. We can get rid of a Momo here. And then the following turn we have the Momo into the heal up. So that should prolong us for that. Let's go 5 first. They'll rest something here, which is fine. Bounce this to life, and we'll pass it up. That's why I decided to attack first, in case they want to activate the ability. Because if I put down Momo first and then swung, then she would have just rested the Momo. See what I mean? Which would have been counterintuitive and pretty dumb. So I have to watch out for him, pretty much, because it allows her to restand an extra Dawn, which is really good. But I also have to pay attention to the Basil Hawkins, the new one. I do want to keep Momo here. And I don't think any way I decide to do this turn is going to end well. If I attack with Enel, she rests Momo. If I attack with Momo, she rests the leader. So one way or the other, only one of these attacks are getting off this turn. Which sucks. And we only have 7 Dawn right now. Next turn we can actually pop off with the Katakuri if we draw into one, or the Yamato. Maybe getting down a Kikinojo here wouldn't be a bad idea. We can go 7 here. I know it seems silly. She's going to rest the leader regardless of how I look at this. I think passing the turn would have been the worst play. Let's get this on board and we'll pass it up. He's such a good card, by the way. The fact that he can just restand a Dawn on your opponent's field. I'm gonna try to play around with that in Birdcage Dofi and see how I feel about it. It might be pretty good. Okay, so that's 7. Cavendish with Rosinante is a really nice combination. I like that. We may have to do Hiyori things here. Or we can pop something on board. Let's get rid of this instead. And we still have enough to do Hiyori. I definitely don't want to deal with the 8 cost. Let's get rid of that. We'll plant the 0 cost in the life here. She still has the 1 Dawn up. let's do this, and hopefully they decide to rest the Momo. Sweet. They may try to go for game next turn, which I'm okay with. Because we have a lot of counter in hand, along with the zero cost event on the board, so I don't really have to worry about it. Unless this is a Dofi turn. 5. I don't think burning this is worth it either. I think we should just save the zero cost event for the following turn, if this is how she's going to play it. We get rid of the Flampe, it's fine. Yep. So she won't attack with the Mad Monk, which is understandable. Dofi, yep. Alright, gets the freeze off. That's the first one. Hopefully we don't see too many of these. We do get a Katakuri though, which is really strong. But we need to heal up either or this turn. The ace gets rush. He can possibly take out Cavendish here. So we gain the life. She can't rest anything, so it's either he dies or she blocks. You're gonna rest Hiroshi for no reason. Alright, whatever. You got it. No searchers. Never mind. We got a searcher. Awesome. So what do you get? Baby 5 gets baby 5. You love to see it. Oh, stop, man. Like I said, Mad Monk is such a good card. That's 8k into what? Momonosuke. Oh yeah, that's fine. You can have it. I'm not spending all that to protect you. And it's still not enough. Oh yeah, it is. It's barely enough. So she's going for ace. Yep, saw that coming. I think we need him, don't we? If we do the zero cost event, we can get rid of the Yamato. And then I guess we have to give away the 2k counter. But now we have 2 cards in hand. They have a really solid board. Sure. You can have it. That was smart for her to do that, though. Because we were just going to bounce it back to life here with Katakuri. So that was really good. And they probably weren't even thinking about that in that scenario. But just something they could have done. Alright, let's go 10k to Cavendish here. I feel like he'd be guaranteed. At the very least. I think she'd guard out for the Dofi. If she wants to give me the Mad Monk, I take that as well. No, cool. Let's go 5 into baby 5. I'm not going to Dawn up here and then not play Katakuri. I think Katakuri is mandatory in this scenario. Get down a blocker, and then we can put up something in life here. I'd feel better if we put up Kikinojo, but taking back the 2k counter wouldn't be the worst part. Sure. Hopefully you don't find Kid. Okay. There's the Basil Hawkins. He's a pain in the butt. He's such a good card. He does counter out Town Blaze. So, because he happens to work for any removal. It's when any of your cards leave the field, which is great. What do you find here? Okay, Rosinante, 11 into, yep. Nah, we'll counter this out. I appreciate you, though, for doing all that. Playing all those cards for no reason. It's wild. Well, we'll take those. And I still think we need ace here on field. Which is unfortunate. I just didn't really want to give up my whole hand. But I think I need him to stay alive, so. So she'll swing at me for 7k this turn. Oh. He's actually attacking. Sure. This is kind of irrelevant here, isn't it? Actually, we can save it for later and kill the Dofi with it. Because in that scenario, we could have popped the Mad Monk, because it's both our lives together. But using it to kill Dofi is probably the better idea. I'll just pop that. Now we can deal with the board and not have to worry about being rested. Unless they drew into another one here. They should definitely rest Katakuri here. Which is unfortunate. This is why I decided to leave up 4 Dawn. That way I can swing for 9k regardless. Because 1 Dawn on Katakuri, you know. But they decided to rest it. Now we can just swing 9k with Enel. As much as I don't want to, I feel like clearing the board is just the better option here. I think we have to get rid of the Bonnie and the Baby 5. Otherwise, they are just going to keep getting free cards. Thank you. We're just going to float 1 Dawn, just to be like, yo, we got Elthor, you know? This looks like a prime Dofi turn right now. I'd be surprised if they didn't play Dofi. 8k to face. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to give up my whole hand for this turn either. I don't have enough. Get the 0 cost. Let's do the thing. Trash that and heal another one. Now we go back to 3 life again. 2 plus the 0. They've only got 7 Dawn left to play around. We'll guard out here. Okay, Hawkins. Such a good card, man. Get a Momonosuke. Which is good, actually, because we can bounce Kikunojo to life here. And no matter how I split this, she's going to rest something here on board. We need to kill that, though. Let's attack into this first. Regardless, it didn't matter which way I decided to do this. She's going to rest Ace, Katakuri, or Leader here. But at least we can remove the Cavendish with this play. Or not. Okay, sure. 1 more card. I'll take those all day. Oof. Let's go 7 into this. This still warrants a 2k counter. We have to bounce the Momo to play down the Hiyori on life. We can do the Momo thing, bounce this to life, and we can pass it up after this. We have 2 big bodies on board. So if she doesn't have Dofi here, she loses next turn. That's for sure. Yep. Fair enough. Because now we're all froze. She doesn't restand a Dawn after this, which is great. She doesn't have a Mad Monk on board. Not sure why she decided to attack me there, but I'll take it. Yamato doesn't help out here in this scenario. It's another big body on board, but that's about it. I think we just pressure here. That's about it. We're going to attack with Momo as well. Hawkins is so good, man. Such a good card. For green. Let's go 11k. Or let's go 12k lead. Darn. I was hoping that she would block with Basil. So 12 and 10k here. Does she have the counter? Nope. Okay. Back down to 0 life. She still does have quite a bit of cards in hand, so it's still an option to play down a kid and then start, you know, stacking. But this might be another Dofi turn as well. I surely hope not. Being locked down for 3 turns does suck. 10k to Katakuri. You got it. Can't really do anything about it. They have to Dawn up to at least kill the Ace, which is okay. But, getting around this Basil is going to be a challenge here. 7 to here. You got it. Cool. So they left the Ace on board. Alright. No use in that. Another Dofi. And this is why I think This is why I think Bonnie's gonna be very challenging for Enel, just because she can do things like this and then rest like a leader or one of your big bodies on board, which is very irritating to deal with. Do you have enough counter to win the game though, or to protect yourself? Thankfully, we got ace off that draw. Come on. The stall is real, man. Sure. Come on, don't have enough. I don't deserve this. Yo, we got there. Goodness. Get me out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video in which we talk about the deck list and all that sort of thing here. In which we're going to go over that briefly, but I do want to talk to you guys about some new details here on the channel. The Discord is finally up and running. And I get it, not a lot of people pay attention and they hang out for the end of the video. Sometimes people don't hang out for the intro of the video because people just like to see the deck list and go about their day. But I'm going to put up a video tomorrow that will allow a lot more people to be like, oh look, Discord's up. So stay tuned for that. In any case, welcome into the end of it where we talk about the deck list. We're going to go over a little bit of stuff here with the Enel, in which I didn't really have a lot of problems with. We did play against the Luffy. That was like a 28-minute game. We survived, what, like 7 Sabos and then 3 Gecko Morias, which is really, really good. I'm sorry that one didn't have any commentary, man. Like, it was a whole lot of just waiting for my opponent to, like, do a play. You know, like... So, for those of you guys that stuck out and watched that 26-minute game, I think it was like 26, 27 minutes. It was about a half an hour. Yo, thank you, man. Hats off to you guys. But for those of you that didn't want to stick around for that, yo, no shame. Because even I didn't want to be there in that matchup. I really didn't. But it was one of those matches where I feel like it's good to showcase it. Because it is Black Yellow Luffy. He's a very hard deck to deal with. I just feel like Enel has a very easy time to do it. Especially with all the healing abilities that this deck, you know, has up its sleeve. But overall, I do very much like the Momonosuke inclusion into the list over the Gedetsu. And I feel like this list, or some variations of it, you guys will see a lot more in OP07 and or the upcoming regionals here in July. But this has been my Enel deck that I will be showcasing probably at locals here soon. Once OP07 and stuff comes out and I get the, you know, the aces and all that. But overall, this has been Pawseplays. Remember to smash that like button. Come join the Discord. Come stop by. Tell me I suck. Come tell me hi. I'll see you guys in the very next video. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.